Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to make beet burgers. So you might be thinking, beets burgers? Like, how is that even good? Just trust me on this one. If you make it, comment below and tell me how awesome it is. I pretty much guarantee you're going to love these burgers. Okay, so I basically have nothing prepped here right now to make these beet burgers, which I guess is a good thing because you're gonna see basically how exactly I do it and also how messy I am in the kitchen. I think I've gotten better over the years. Walker, don't you think I've gotten better with my cleanliness? So. You know what part of the problem is? Look at the size of my cutting board. If only I had a bigger cutting board, this would make things easier. Okay, so when you buy beets, make sure that you buy certified organic because you don't have to peel them. Like, it makes it so much easier, right? And also then you know that your food hasn't been sprayed with a cocktail of chemicals. So all you need is 2 medium-sized beets. Now, if you want to be lazy, you can just use your food processor to grate the beets. But I actually am not going to use my food processor because I actually want it to be more of this texture. So here we go. Now, if you are finicky about getting dirty, then feel free to put gloves on because it's gonna look like a murder scene in here in about 5 minutes. Because the beautiful phytonutrients, this beautiful red color is gonna be on everything. I should actually be wearing an apron, but I don't know where. I have like 4 aprons. I don't know where any of my aprons are. You know, my first introduction to beets was not the healthiest beets. You know, growing up, I thought beets were something that came in a pickle jar. And the truth is, those kind of beets do not make your poop go red. They're just not rich in phytonutrients. So if you want the full benefits of the nutrients in beets, like rich in iron and vitamin C, and very, very rich in like thousands of phytonutrients, if you want all of these nutrients, then you gotta eat the real food. Unless, of course, you're buying like properly pickled beets, then that's a whole different story. I'm not using pickled beets, I'm using raw beets. And yes, you know a question I get all the time is, Joy, are those beets in your recipe? Because I eat beets all the time. Are those beets raw or cooked? I don't know why people seem to have it in their head that you can't eat raw beets. I don't know why that is. Do you guys know why that is? Maybe you can comment below and tell me why you think it is that you can't eat raw beets. Okay, so the next step, if you want, if you don't have a food processor, don't even worry about it. All you need is a potato masher because what you would do is just combine your beets with your beans, and you can use any beans. I'm using navy beans, but you could also use chickpeas, garbanzo beans, you could use cannellini beans. So you would just mash it together and add the other ingredients. But since I'm being a little bit lazy, I'm gonna put it all into my food processor right now because it just makes it easier. But don't worry, I'm gonna tell you everything that I'm putting in here. I have to say, when I wrote my first book, Joyous Health, I told everybody that my favorite kitchen appliance is my food processor. And it still is today, even though you've probably seen over the many videos that I have that I'm still using this broken one. Okay, so I'm putting in my navy beans, which are washed. I bought certified organic beans. You can, of course, soak them and make them yourself, but I'm just making this quickly. Okay, so I'm also gonna put in some almond flour. I'm gonna put half a cup of almond flour. You could totally substitute with quinoa flour. You could probably even just put quinoa in too. Quinoa flour, spelt flour. I'm making these gluten-free, so that's why I'm using the almond flour. But you could also put in almonds and just grind them up. That's really what almond flour is. Like, almond meal flour is nothing special. It's literally just like ground almonds. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not too picky about how much I'm measuring. Just have fun with it, guys. Like, have fun with your food. And the nice thing is these kind of burgers, like with any kind of burger, like, I don't know if you saw my last burger recipe for my, what were the juicy chicken burgers with the pineapple salsa, so good. Like, with burgers, you don't really have to worry so much about measuring everything. Okay, so garlic. Garlic is everything. We are garlic lovers in this household. If you don't like garlic, just don't put it in. But garlic adds so much flavor, and your fingers smell really great too. Last night after dinner when we were lying in bed, Walker actually made dinner for me last night. And when we were lying in bed, he's like sticking his fingers in my face. He's trying to get romantic with me by sticking his garlic stench fingers in my face. That's what we do. We share our stinks with each other. Okay, You know what? I'm chopping these, but you don't really have to chop this. Why am I chopping this? I'm putting in my food processor. Probably because I love chopping. You know, chopping, there's something, I posted on Snapchat the other day, how much I love the sound of chopping fresh herbs. Do you guys feel me? Do you know what I'm saying? Walker, do you know what I'm saying? Is that weird? Like the crunch. Speaking of which, you know what? I think we should add some fresh herbs. Let's add some parsley. It's not in my original recipe, so we're just going with this. Look at this parsley. And now I've stained it with, I've got beets all over it. Curly parsley, organic. Look at all the, there's like, you know, with herbs, buy organic or just grow them yourselves, because look at all the surface area that pesticides can get into and then get in your body, and they disrupt your hormones. Okay, so, let's put in some, before we chop the parsley, let's put in a bit of salt. Okay, let's put in some cumin. Now, normally I don't measure, but for you guys, I am gonna measure. Let's put in about a teaspoon. Okay, I'm using organic spices as well. And I'm gonna put in some chili powder. But really just put in whatever you like. Like, think of what flavors you enjoy. You could make these with Italian seasonings as well. You could do like oregano and basil and thyme. That would be nice. Rosemary and beets go together like coconut milk ice cream and a peach blueberry cake. They go together. They're like a match made in heaven. Okay, let's give it a sniff. Can we look in there? Can we show everybody how amazing that looks? Doesn't that look so pretty? I need to share this on Instagram. Oh, my egg. Okay, so my egg. Oops. There goes my egg. One egg. You don't have to actually put an egg in if you don't want to. It will stick together pretty well. Okay, so let's put in some parsley. You know, parsley hasn't gotten much love. Like, most people think of parsley as a garnish. Poor parsley, right? No respect. A garnish that people toss to the side. So, this is what I'm talking about, this sound. Listen to the sound. Can you get up close? Hear the sound of the parsley chopping. And again, I don't know why, if you're using your food processor, like, don't worry about chopping. Like, just toss everything in. You could also add some onion, but I'm not gonna do that today because I've already got lots of flavor. I am gonna add some feta. This is goat feta. Most feta is actually sheep. So I need a fork actually. You don't wanna stick your fingers in here because you'll contaminate you don't want to stick your fingers in here because you're going to contaminate it with your bacteria. So I'm going to use about half a cup. Now my husband, Walker, as you may have heard in other videos, he is a cheese monster. I was going to say monger. Cheese monster. Is that enough cheese for you, loves? Do you like that amount? Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. By the way, you could do this in a blender too. And just to remind you, you could totally do everything with a masher just to mash up the beans a little bit, but just gonna give it a little blend. Okay, let's get dirty. So we're just gonna form these into patties. Just like that, that's a nice size. If you wanted, you could sear them on a pan, but I just find it so much easier to use the oven. Now I get it if it's, or you could even try and barbecue them. They are a little bit sticky, so these are burgers that are better done in your oven. I think they're about 3.5 inches wide, I'd say, but you just make them however you want. There are no rules here. They do stick together really nicely. Like, these are the kind of burgers that when I first made these, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually did not think that they would like totally stick together. I thought they were gonna be a burger that you just have with a salad and it breaks up. But surprisingly, it held together. Like, you could totally put it between, a nice spelt bun or kamut flour bun. So Vienna is 11 months old now, and she's so funny. She's going through this phase where she does not want anybody to feed her. She only wants to feed herself. So these are awesome. Like, if your baby has already had all of these foods, like obviously Vienna is having goat cheese. If your baby's had all these, this is a really great food for your little one too, because they can kind of break them apart, and they're so flavorful. It's a great way to introduce your babe to a bunch of different flavors. Okay, so I gotta wash my hands, then I'm gonna pop these in the oven for about 30 minutes. There you have it. Through the magic of YouTube, my beet burgers are done. Don't they look beautiful? They are so full of flavor. They are so good for you. They're so rich in fiber and antioxidants, and maybe you don't even care about that. You just care about the flavor. I get it. So have it with a nice salad, have it with a burger bun, give it to your baby. Enjoy! So I hope you love this video. I hope you like my recipes. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Comment below. Ask me your questions, and I will post this recipe on joyoushealth.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and have an awesome day. I mean a joyous day. Have a very joyous day.